Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Kick.com and Twitch.tv. It's your boy Joseph D32. I'm just doing a couple quick little promotional posts. And I watched just a little bit of the footage from AEW, All Elite Wrestling. And the backstage incident between Jack Perry and CM Punk, and I'm not surprised that I'm not seeing anything, but I'm not seeing anything. Like okay, big freaking deal. Like I don't. Like, this was supposed to be this big earth-shattering moment, and it's like, no, it's a little scuffle between a couple of people. Like, I've seen junior high kids have a more violent scuffle than this. I've probably had a more violent scuffle than this in junior high school. Like, bro, seriously? Anyway, I'll go ahead and switch over here to our main screen. As you can see, we will be playing Cuphead here in just a few minutes. Like I said, I do want to make a couple of quick promotional posts, let people on my Discord. Yeah, I actually have a Discord, believe it or not. Or BLACKLEATHERKREW Productions has a Discord, which it means technically it's mine. I don't. Quite frankly, is there a? I mean, there is GamerDude3106, but like, he really doesn't have time to stream right now because he's discovered he's done this thing. He's done this thing, and it's a thing we all do. It's a mistake I've made. It's a mistake I'm sure many of you out there have made. Where he got a life. And when you get a life, people always tell you that. Well, you get a life. Don't do that. Getting a life is bad. Okay. When you get a life, you don't get to do all the things that you want to do, right? All these different things that you want to do, you suddenly don't have time for anymore. And he's learning that the hard way. So, and I'm not saying this to, I ain't even saying this to talk trash. Because again, I did it. um, Playing Cuphead poorly. Let me add it. Let me add this Cuphead image from desktop. From desktop. From desktop. From desktop. But so there's that, and then I mean, honestly, outside of that, that's pretty much the totality of BLACKLEATHERKREW Productions at this point. So the only reason I keep the brand around is because I have a significant amount of work out there that's been labeled um, under the BLACKLEATHERKREW Productions label. Plus, I do have a series. I have Moy Bean. I have a series in production. Episode 10 is available. Check it out. Moy Bean, MUY space BEAN on the YouTubes. On the YouTubes. All right. But yeah, I promise. Like I said, I promise you, we will be playing. We will be playing game. We'll be playing game here shortly. But yeah, again, getting back to this whole AEW thing and how, this was supposed to be this big moment that's gonna expose CM Punk and show that, um, show the entire world AEW's been in the right this entire time, and then we watch it and I'm just like, that's it. So let me see something here real quick. Oops, whoopsie, dang it. This is why I wanted. This is why I often wait. Like, this is one of the reasons I say 6-ish p.m. and I don't necessarily go on right at 6. Um, Specifically for this reason, because I gotta let everybody into Discords and on the X's and on all, like, whoever else is following me, let them know that we are streaming live and worldwide on kick.com and twitch.tv. But that is that. Let me close out Discord. Okay, Discord be closed. Game controller be picked up. Game controller be picked up eventually. Here we are. Turn it back on. I'll drink a water real quick. Oh, you know what? You know what else I might want to do? I might want to bring up. Uh, I mean, you guys there watching patiently, and thank you for doing so. I promise you, we will be having game here today. We will be playing game. I play game. Let me turn audio down slightly on that. Let me put on these here headphones because I guess now it's decided. I guess now it's decided all of a sudden that the audio is actually going to go through the headphones, which is what I wanted it to do in the first place. And for whatever reason, it wasn't doing it, and now it is. Let's play freaking Cuphead. Let's do this. Don't deal with the devil. Studio MDHR. All right.
Delicious last course. Oh, the delicious last course. One can eat and fill and still stay.
What are the options? Visual. I think we're good. I'll turn the sound effects down just a smidgen. Music I'm gonna leave on. Music's already excellent. Copyright 1930. Nice. Let's start. New. Please select player. I don't want it to be too loud.
It's a delicious last course. Oh, the delicious last course. One can eat and fill and still stay until the delicious last course.
I have my sidebar so I can see the full screen on my screen up here. I'm getting better about this, but I will still look down at my screen over here to see I want to see chat. I want to see all the stuff, all the things, you know. And because I don't want to, if you guys got something to say, I don't want to ignore you, right? And I look down and I'm like, bro, my camera's over here though. So like, if I'm talking to you, and I'm over here looking like this. I'm over here talking to you, right? I'm talking to you, like I'm talking to you, right there, you. I'm talking to you. Oh wait, the camera's right here. So you got me looking at like this when I should be talking to you right here. So I'm getting better at that. As we say in professional wrestling, face the hard cam, right? Speaking of which, why is the camera's like offset or something? Like it is offset from what I had. That's not good. I don't want it to be offset. I want it to be perfect. It's not. It's far from perfect, but I want it to be as close to it as I could possibly get right now. That makes sense? No? Let's go. Love this film effect. Acme Publishing Company. Once upon a time, in a magical place called Inkwell Isle, there were two brothers named Cuphead and Mugman. They lived without a care under the watchful eye of the wise Elder Kettle. One day, the two boys wandered far from home and, despite the Elder Kettle's many warnings, ended up on the wrong side of the tracks and entered the Devil's Casino. Inside, Cuphead and Mugman soon found themselves on a winning streak at the craps table. Hot dog! Exclaimed King Dice, the casino's sleazy manager. Those fellas can't lose. Nice run, boys, laughed the newcomer. The brothers gasped. It was the casino's owner, the devil himself. Now, how about we raise the stakes? He suggested with a toothy grin. A toothy grin I'm not going to give you because my teeth are fucked up. Win one more roll, and all the loot in my casino is yours, the devil boomed. But if you lose, I'll have your soul. Deal? This is the second straight game in which we are dealing with souls. Okay. I mean, that looks like papyrus right there. It's not, but Cuphead, blinded by easy riches, nodded and grabbed the dice for a throw. Good gosh, Cuphead, no, cried Mugman, for he understood the danger, but it was too late. Snake eyes, laughed the devil while slamming the floor. You lose, the brothers trembled in fear as he loomed over them. Now about those souls. The brothers pleaded for their very lives. There must be another way to repay you, Mugman stammered. Yes, please, mister, Cuphead added. Perhaps there is, the devil snickered, pulling out a parchment. I have here a list of my runaway debtors. Collect their souls for me, and I might just pardon you two mugs. Now get going, the devil roared, kicked the boys out most rudely. You have till midnight tomorrow to collect every one of those souls. Otherwise, I'll be the one collecting yours. Mwahaha and stuff. Cuphead and Mugman were terribly frightened and ran away as best as they could. Come on, Mug, panted Cuphead. We have to find the Elder Kettle. He'll know what to do. What a fine pickle you boys have gotten yourselves into. I know you don't want to be pawns of the devil, but if you refuse, I can't bear to imagine your fates. You must play along for now, collect those contracts. And you'd best be ready for some nasty business. Your debtor friends won't be very friendly once you confront them. In fact, I expect they'll transform into terrible beasts. Take this potion so they won't hang you out to dry. It'll give you the most remarkable magical abilities. Now go to my writing desk and use the mystical inkwell there. You need to prepare yourselves for a scrap. Alrighty. Tutorial. Doug, hold down to crouch. Simple enough. Alright. Jump. Dash. Ah. Quick evade on ground or air. Ah, gotcha. Send. Okay. Oh. Parry slap. Press jump while airborne to nullify or interact with pink objects. This also builds your super meter. Resurrect. Revive your dead pal with a well-timed parry on the ghost. Two-player mode only. Thank you. X move. An upgraded attack that requires one super. Boom, shakalaka. Now's your chance to be a big shot. Be a big magic shot. Your chance to be a big shot. Be a big. Collect coins to purchase items from the shop. And we exit. All right, simple enough. Okay, our overhead world map. All right. Hey, fellas. Look like you're in for it now, eh? Well, I used to be the same way, always getting into trouble, running, jumping, shooting. But now I prefer just strolling around and going to the pictures. But hey, let me give you a hand. Take this. You received 3 gold coins. Hell yeah. Hey guys, good to see you again. Hope those coins helped out a bit. Maybe check with other folks around here. They might help you too. One's not trying to kill you, I mean. Pork Rinds Emporium. Welcome. Rebound. I mean, I might need to turn this down just a smidgen here. As much as I love the audio. There we go. Might have to turn it down just a smidge. Got a new follower, Lolo! Lolo and Pigs, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, I do not have, I've tried, but for whatever reason, I do not have freaking, the alerts set up. I don't have the alerts set up properly. I tried to set them up. So, I just now, right now, saw that. Thank you for the follow, Lolo. How are you doing? That was 2 minutes ago. I feel bad for waiting 2 minutes. I do apologize. Like I said, I just saw that right now. Lolo and Pigs, thank you for the follow. Hope the stream is good on that end. I mean, everything appears to be right on my end, but you know, things happen and such. So I hope everything looks good there. All right. So, we know Spread is goated, right? Lobber. Good boy. You gots to equip those new purchases if you want to use them. Look at your equip card, you bums. E? Root Pack and Botanic Panic. I'm going to play simple for now. I might switch over to regular here. Okay. Pretty simple. Man, get wasted. Uh-oh. Oh, we ain't done yet. All right. All right. Ah. Simple enough, simple enough, simple enough. All right, all right, all right. Ah! Ah! No, HP 1. Oh, knockout! Got him. KO. Grade D, a brand new record. Remember, only a regular battle will let you collect a debtor's soul contract. Now, scram. Okay. So, I need to basically select regular and do it again, is what you're saying. Wallop. I mean, this first one. Uh-oh. KO. Oh. You died! Retry. Hey, little guy, it's okay if you have to cry. Ah, what? Oh. Gotta move. I shouldn't have done that. I'm lean, mean, and full of beta carotene. Okay. I think I got the controls now, though. Oh. Now I just gotta watch what the hell I'm doing, right? Ah, really? Oldhead Gamer sucks. Buttered, smashed, and mashed. It's over for. Wallop. Ah! What the hell? Get wrecked, nerd. Okay, so you do not want to go all the way, but at least not until after he fires. You do not want to go all the way to the edge of the screen. Go all the way to the edge of the screen, you get yourself cornered. Makes sense. This is the first battle. My God, you suck, man. I play games poorly. Although, again, I think I at least get the controls down now, and just as I say that. I jumped right into it. This is not good. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Great shot is goated, right? Ah. KO. There we go. I was not expecting that to take that long. A brand new record. Alrighty then. Sold contract, the root pack. You got the root pack. Sold contract. Got him. Harumph. I'll be a monkey's uncle if I'm putting my moolah in the bank. For all I know, the devil probably controls the place too. They'll never get a hold of my gold if I spread it all around. And if some Joe happens to find a coin or two, good for him. That's what I say. Harumph. Okay then. Forest Follies, run and gun. Let's go.
Now go!
Got a little propeller on it. Oh, that was smart. That was smart of me.
Now go.
Oh, okay. Huh. Good weapon thrower's packing, huh? Oh. I landed right on the edge and basically walked right the hell off. So you just spawn right back there. So yeah. Huh. Oh.
It's on.
Oh. Oh, what the? Oh, it's the right button, huh? Not the left. My bad. I pressed the left. I pressed the left button. And I should have pressed the right button to dash across. Ah. Okay, that's what happened. Ah, landed on a freaking blue dude anyway. Damn. All right, all right, all right. Get wrecked, nerds. Ah. Acorn maker. Oh, those are acorns. Okay. Okay. What? Oh, shit.
Here goes.
Damn, this guy got range. There we go. God damn. Get up there. There you go. Get up and get shot, bro. Get up and get shot, bro. Damn. There we go. Bravo. Shout out to Freddy Bravo out there, wherever you are. B minus. Hey, okay. Okay. Ruse of a snooze. Ruse of an ooze. Goopy Legrand. Any relation to boys? Probably not.
A great
Ready? Oh. Oh. I got pounced on. With a face like mine, is it a crime to be bouncing all the time?
A great plan.
Wallop. Oh. Ah! Okay.
Here's a real high-class
Ah! Mid-air change of direction, motherfucker. Ah, nowhere to go.
Good day
God. Why you changing direction in mid-air, bro?
A brawl is truly brutal.
Damn. Ah! How did I get hit? How did I get hit the third time? Okay. Oh, shit. Mm. Nowhere to go.
A great plan.
Okay. Ah! Nowhere to go. I'm about to come back to this one, I think. Tree top trouble. Cutting corners. Find a shortcut. Watch out for Woody there. Oh. Right on top of him. All right. Oh, jumped right into it. Who invited you into our tree? Only welcome. Who invited you into our tree? Only members are welcome, you see. Meh. Meh, say. Meh. Let him land right on top. I didn't make it very far at all there. Shoot. All right. Oh, pay attention to what's coming up ahead.
It's on.
Ah. Why do I don't know. That's change weapon. I don't know, and I've been hit twice now. I don't know why I keep thinking that's dash. That's dash. Oh, contraed myself there.
And begin.
Okay, well here, just go ahead and hit me, bro, because I'm not gonna make it. Because apparently that run, I'm just gonna get hit by everything under the damn sun. Same thing, bro. Just go ahead.
And begin.
Just go ahead. Ah!
Now go.
Seriously, bro? I'd like to be able to make it over. Never mind. I was gonna say I'd like to be able to make it over there with more than just 1 HP. I'd like to be able to make it over there. Oh. You actually do have to jump. That's 1 HP. And I landed on the B.
It's on.
So, before I go further, is this game known for bullshit? Because I won't be. I'm not gonna finish a game if it's known for bullshit. I've been saying that I've been meaning to play this for a while, and I have. Ah. How's the game so far? Yeah, like I said, if this game is known for bullshit, I'm not gonna be continuing it.
It's on.
I don't mind I don't mind a challenge. I don't even necessarily mind a difficult challenge. But if I, case in point. Case in point. Here, just go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
And begin.
All right. Well, this is a better run than I've had in a little while, so that's good. Are you playing with controller? Yes, I am. I'm playing this on Xbox. What the Bro, what? Alright, let's see. Yep. A little difficult of an area to be coming in with one hit point. Move, Woody. Woody. Would you say this is harder than Undertale? Vanilla Undertale? Probably. It's not really that... I wouldn't even say it's that hard. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty early into it. And I'm probably... One of the things is I gotta get used to... or I would say at least more used to the control scheme. But I know there's times where there's been a couple times where hits have not registered. Okay, that was my fault. For the most part, like the gameplay's challenging, and that's fine. I don't mind that in the slightest. But I know, like earlier when I was one of these platforms that okay, I don't know if it was that one. It sure as hell wasn't that one this time. I just missed that one. No, it wouldn't be the first time tonight that I've basically landed on a platform that just kind of decided I didn't land on. But in this case, nah, I just legit missed that one. Ah, shit. God damn it. Here.
And begin.
Nice if I could see them even coming. Had no idea that guy was there. Yeah, once you get past the intro, it's not... The visibility isn't nearly as bad. By off-screen bullshit. That was okay. It would be nice if there was a way where you could get would be nice if there's a way where you could restore some HP somewhere. Gamer Dude 31 or 316 on here. I think that's what he was trying to put on. I think that's what he was trying to put on Twitch, but I seen that he just came on. He came on live. Uh, these two, all right.
And begin.
Here, bro, just go ahead.
You're up.
Shit. Thought I was dead right there, bro. Seriously?
And begin.
Bullshit!
And begin.
Hold on. I believe there are some things. There are some things that. There are some bright peak objects that will get thrown at you. That I think if you jump on them correctly, get a boost. Yeah, yeah. The, you know, like that. Parry, persistence. Unfortunately, it's a weapon upgrade, not a. It's a temporary weapon upgrade. See, I should have done that there. By the way, how's the stream? How's the stream look on your end? Oh, okay. Ah. Okay. I don't think we're completing this right now. Looking at my chip. Ah. It's not my fault. I've been busy fighting off those casino debtors. Now I gotta save up to have my blade fixed. So help me. I wish someone would bust that king dice one. Actually, you know what? Let me go. As an additional hit point. Totally worth. I'll try this again, but I need to have need to hydrate.
You're up.
Hold on. Get die. Get die. There we go. Realize I had not equipped. One more. Or I'll just take a hit. Okay. There we go. Still need one more, actually. Nope. Oh, okay. Well, here. All right, cool. Now I know that.
You're up.
It's not 5 and then you're powered up. It's 5. Oh. What the hell? Okay, not worth. Yeah, here, just here.
You're up.
Not worth. And still have 4 hit points. That's good. Three hit points. Which, to be fair, was all I had, all I would have had maximum anyway before. So that's... Oh. I think there's gonna be an early stream here tonight, guys. um,
And begin.
I will say about this game, I love the music. Art style's dope. And you know I'm an old head because I said dope. Nobody says that anymore, I don't think. Yo, I didn't even mean to land it on the platform. I'm literally gonna try this one more time, and this is probably gonna be the end of stream here. Um,
You're up.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know if I'm coming back to this. It's too hard for your basic bitch gamer like me. Nah, I'll probably come back to it. I don't dis. Wait, what? Okay. Something worked there. I don't know what I did, but and you know how I know I'm gonna come back to this, because you know how I just said that I'm gonna give this one more try. I lied. Although I wasn't lying in that second, but yeah,
It's on.
I'm not done yet. I'm done with this turn.
You're up.
Clip joint calamity.
A great slam and then some. Now go.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. We had fighting souls, so we've been fighting tadpoles.
Here's a real high-class bout. Now go.
Oh. I don't know what the hell I was supposed to do there. You went for broke and now you're crook. I like that.
This match will get red hot. You're up.
Ah. Ah! Okay, that was my fault. Crude and bad because we're from the wrong side of the lily pad.
This match will get red hot. And begin.
Ah. Ah. What the shit? Oh. This does remind me of Contra, actually.
A brawl is surely brewing. Now go!
Ah. I actually mean this when I say this time. I'm gonna try this one more time.
This match will get red hot. Here goes.
Turn that way. Tigers. Guys, this is gonna be the end of stream. Man, we're at 8 o'clock. Almost what did almost go 2 hours. It actually, to be brutally honest, it doesn't. Oh. It actually doesn't feel like that. But, yeah, I'm going to end early. I'm tired, a bit frustrated. I probably will come back to this next week. As of right now, I'm not doing anything this weekend. We'll see if I do anything. It will probably be Friday night at some point. And I might just, I don't know. I might play some I haven't played Fire Pro Wrestling on stream in a while. And I remember I was basically going to set up. I was going to set it up almost like its own like little Friday night show, right? Have computer versus computer matches, something like that. I don't know if I'll do exactly that, but yeah, I'm freaking tired, and this is really just getting on my damn nerves. Maybe it's just because I suck as a video game player. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But I'm going to look for somebody to raid out to here on Twitch. And on Kick, this will be and a stream, obviously, if you're watching a VOD. Or you're watching it on YouTube, which is basically just a VOD uploaded to YouTube. This will be the end for you as well. Want to say thank you to Case Cheerios for coming back in. Always appreciate it. Lolo and Pix, my friend, thank you for the follow. Do real quick, also want to say give a shout out to Special Sport Zero, who followed earlier in the week during the my Black Leather Crew Productions stream, the kind of marathon stream. Also, Yusef H, Rick Luxury, who followed me last week. Rick Luxury, who was part of that marathon stream. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, and everyone who's watching anywhere around the world, any way, any shape, any form or fashion that you are watching. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to bring up the damn stream so I can see who's on. I can see who's on so I can see who I want to, yo, Bats is on. Okay, Wiggs is on. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna go and she's probably playing Call of Duty something or other, most likely because that's what she plays. Not bad at it. No, I don't want to edit stream info. I want to select my raid option. So yeah, like I said, Case, thank you for coming in. Lolo, thanks for the follow. Check out Wig, she's cool. Playing, yeah, Call of Duty Warzone. And other than that, like I said, we'll be back next Wednesday. Might be here on Friday. We'll see. No promises on that, but like I said, most likely we'll be back on Wednesday. And I'll probably be playing a bit more Cuphead, too. Hopefully I can get a little bit more rest before that. So I'm not playing this tired as hell, honestly. So, you know, like, yeah, and stuff. Shout outs to, you know, R.I.P. my friend Eric Asuncion. R.I.P. my cousin. We call him Uncle Stump, but because he's old enough, you know, to be my uncle, but actually he's not my uncle. He's my cousin. Anyway, that's I'll say, R.I.P. to him as well. So, all right. My name's Joseph, and we are out this bitch.